For yesterday.
Which one?
From yesterday. The one I from there. Upstairs.
Okay, good night.
I'm not.
Yeah?
I'm not.
Oh, no, you're not new. I was supposed to meet you before. So I have so much communication. Good night. Good night. Welcome.
Sir.
Yes?
How
It's 16 months again. It's measurement.
If we need a bigger room, we're coming.
Ask, is it Tamika about her earlier?
Martha?
Yes, she just passed by. Ask her. Yes, we're live. We're on. Okay? Alright. Nice. Alright, tonight we're supposed to be doing measurement. We'll just take a few minutes to explain a couple of things, clear up a few things. Probably it was in the WhatsApp a little bit. Okay, you're saying there's actually?
They said they were getting problem with it.
Oh, the link was there. Well, let me start with that. No? When the link is posted before we go live. So when the link is posted, when you post the link, if you don't start the broadcast, you won't see anything. Right? So if we say, for example, the class starts at 7, the link will be there before. So you'll click the link at around 7. At 7, it's supposed to be on. Right? Okay. That's good. All right, and you're in here, so you can see if there's anything. Just a couple of things, everybody. This week, clarifying some questions in terms of what's happening when. The link isn't there? Yeah, it's probably earlier. No, you don't see it?
I see a link from 207.
Let's see. All right, you can just send the link and post the link. Check it if you did. Okay. All right, so you could copy it and just copy it and. So you got it?
Yes.
Fine. All right, let's begin. We're dealing with measurement. Just a few things. The link is supposed to be there. Monday to Thursday of this week. Just like a recap of what's happening. The information is in the WhatsApp group. But this week, Monday to Thursday. This week, Monday to Thursday. April. Today is April 10th. 10, 11, 12, 13 of this week. We're covering measurement. And the topics are posted there in the WhatsApp group, measurement. And this number 8 question, the problem solving question, which includes problem solving question, includes this thing with the most popular question is on sequences. Sequences. With respect to the activity booklet, which we have been using in these sessions, it will be like the last 3 or 4 chapters, let me tell you. The activity booklet would be exercises, concentrating mostly on exercises. Exercises 38 to 41, 38, 39, 41. exercise from the activity booklet. Exercise 38, 39, 41.
These exercises are on your topics?
Yeah, on the topics that we were doing. Right. Exercises 30, 30, 39, 41 in the activity booklet. Right. Number 28. Area perimeter. Okay, let's look at one other thing. Activity booklet, volume 1. Yeah? Oh, yeah. Thanks. Okay, so we're doing measurement and problem solving. That's a sequences question. This question normally comes as number 8 in paper 2. And the measurement, that can be areas, volumes, but it can also be on distance, time, speed, maps and scales, that kind of thing. Right, so as I go along, I'll give you the specific exercise for each section. So today, Monday to Thursday, April 10 to 13, that's what we're doing. We have decided that we are actually going to take a break. The information is there from Friday to Monday. There will be no classes. And a big part of the reason is just to allow you at least a little time. You can rest a little, review, put yourself together, so that when we resume next week, Tuesday, it's straight to the exam. Okay? So the classes will just be this week, Monday to Thursday, and I will resume on Tuesday of next week. The information is posted in the WhatsApp. So let's begin. I'll give you the exercises again as well. All right? So let's start with the lighter part, measurement. You can look at questions that come on distance, speed, distance, and time. Speed, distance, and time. Right, this type of question, speed, distance, time. Example, or the first thing we need to know is that speed is defined as a distance traveled over time. We're also looking at units. If the distance is in, say, meters, and time is in seconds, then your speed will be then your speed, which is distance over time, would be is in meters per second. There's another way to write this, or sometimes they write ms to the -1, which means the same thing, meters per second. If the distance is in meters, t is in seconds, then the speed, because it's distance over time, it will be meters divided by a second, or you say meters per second. Right? Just a basic, as usual, a basic understanding helps you of what you're doing before you do the formulas. Right? So, straight, simple example. If you say, a distance of distance of 5,200 meters was covered in 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Find the speed. Find the speed in a meters per second. Of course, this could be written as ms to the minus 1. Or, and B, find the speed in kilometers per hour, which can be written as kmh to the minus 1. All right, if you're just coming in, welcome. We do the measurement. We're starting with the question that can come on distance, speed, distance, and time. This is not to be mixed up with the graph that comes in normally in the second section, although it can come in the first. These are the travel graphs. This is just a basic question, measurement question on speed, distance, and time. Normally comes in the first section or multiple choice. It starts with this. Speed is distance traveled over time takes. Yes. Speed, distance traveled over time takes. We also want to be comfortable with units and conversions. So here's a little example to start us off. The distance of 5,200 meters was covered in 30 minutes. I'll ask you to find the speed in meters per second. And suppose I ask you to find the speed in kilometers per hour. How would you approach a basic question like that? Speed in meters per second, speed in kilometers per hour.
Good night.
How about like a 1 minute read? Good night.
Speed, distance, time.
Speed, distance, time. Measurements, starting with speed, distance, time. So here's like a 1 minute, 2 minute question. Reason it up.
Distance.
Speed is in
Meters. E is in meter. M, the symbol. T is in seconds, for example. S, the symbol. Then speed being distance over time would be meters per second. Otherwise written as ms to the negative. Yes? Yeah, really. Well, come on. Normally, if anything else fails, we normally have a reset. You know this? The button normally is at the bottom. Now I have a little reset one. Probably when you press it, it just sort out all the problems. Speed. Once you have a little formula, you have to understand the units and you have to understand how to rearrange the form. In this case, I give it distance, I give it time. So it's a standard straight formula, distance over time. But you deal with the units. Good night. Right. Speed, distance, time. At this point, we're looking at exercise 39. No, 39. Yes, exercise 39. This is on the speed distance time. Or pages, either page 260 or page 244, depending on which books you have, either 260 or 244, exercise 39. Right. Okay, so now we get to the question. A distance of 5,200 meters was covered in 30 minutes. Find the speed in meters per second. If you want the speed in meters per second, then you should really have meters, the distance in meters, and the time in seconds. So I'm using this question dual purpose, to do this topic and also to do units and conversion. So if you're answering A, you could say, well, we have the distance. I could just use D for distance. The distance is 5,200 meters. So it's good. That's what I want. The time is 30 minutes. But we want it to be in seconds. 30 minutes in seconds. There are 60 seconds in 1 minute. So what you say is multiply this by 60. I'll put it here. So the time is 30 minutes. So it would be equal to 30 times 60, which is 1,800 seconds. It's very important. You want to get the units right. 30 minutes, which is 1,800 seconds. There are other ways to do it, but since they're asking me for meters per second, I want to have meters, the distance in meters, and we want to have the time in seconds. And so your speed now, right? Your speed is distance over time, which will be 5,200 meters divided by 1,800 seconds. Work it out. 2.88. You can use 2.88, that's reasonable. Meaning you can round it off to 3 significant figures, 2 decimal places. So it becomes 2.88 meters per second. Or be comfortable with this notation. Or you could say meter second to the minus 1. It means the same thing. Right. So that's just a matter of just using the information. Give me your distance and your time, calculate your speed. You can use the formula, but please at least look at your units. In fact, once you're doing a measurement question, pay attention to the unit. So the speed is 2.88 meters per second. What does 2.88 meters per second mean? It means every second that elapses, every second that passes, this object or whatever it is moves 2.88 meters. It covers 2.88 meters every second. That's what it means, right? So, for example, if you wanted to know how far it traveled in 2 seconds, this is in 1 second. So in 2 seconds, you'd multiply by 2, and so on, and so on, and so on, right? Or you could think of it as rearranging the formula. But want to make sure, as usual, we understand the basic principle. If you're in a car and it's a 50 kilometers per hour, if you were on a highway, a stretch, and you kept the needle on 50 kilometers per hour, then in 1 hour, you would have traveled 50 kilometers. That's what 50 kilometers per hour means. Every hour, 50 kilometers. But of course, we know out there the speed is going to vary, fluctuate, and that's why they come up with something called average speed, which we'll deal with afterwards. So for B now, remember it's the same question really, but they're asking you to to give you an answer in kilometers per hour. Now, you could start here, like the 2.88 meters per second. You could actually convert it from here. You could say 2.88 meters in kilometers. In kilometers, you could change it 2.88 meters to kilometers. And the second, that second is 1 second to all. So they could have a question, and we give you one, where they could say change this meters per second to kilometers per hour. But of course, in this question, because you have the raw information, it would be probably better. You'd probably find it better to change the original numbers, like the 5,200 meters, change it now to kilometers, right? So what is 5,200 meters? So I'm saying the distance is 5,200 meters, right? 5,200 meters. How do you change that to kilometers? Conversion, 1,000 meters is 1 kilometer. So you divide this by 1,000. So it will be 5,200 divided by 1,000. You end up with 5.2 meters. Kilometers. 5.2 kilometers. Let's rewrite that here. 5,200 meters is the same as 5,200 divided by 1,000, which is 5.2 kilometers. Why am I doing that? They ask in B to give you an answer in kilometers per hour. So one way is to first convert the distance to kilometers. And then you have another conversion because this is in minutes. 30 minutes, the time. 30 minutes is the same as, well, we know that one. 30 minutes is half an hour. Divide by 60 this time, not multiply. 30 minutes is half an hour, or 0.5. 0.5 of an hour. And so, speed is distance over time. So in this case, 5.2 kilometers divided by 0.5 hour, and you get
10.4.
10.4 kilometers per hour. 10.4 km per hour. Right? Now, even though these questions are supposed to be fairly straightforward, they do create problems. Students don't do well generally in these questions, with these questions. Talking these speed, distance, time questions. Most of the time it has to do with not understanding the units and the conversions, and then also mixing up the calculations, the formula. Right? Okay. Take this off. This one. All right. So I'm going to just rewrite the formulas again, or formulae. So I'm saying these are important. Rewrite it. Speed, we say. Speed is distance over time. If you do physics and even some maths questions, they use velocity. Velocity, for the mathematics purpose, you can think of it as speed. It's a little bit more than just speed, but it can be interchanged for what we are doing. Speed is distance over time. Now, if you're going to rearrange the formula, think about it. If I had this like over 1, and I cross multiply, what I get? D times 1. D is speed times time. Right? And if distance is speed times time, imagine if I wanted to find time. Time, I would divide both sides by the speed, and what I end up getting is distance over speed equal time. Or you could say time is distance over speed. Now, here you have one formula with the 3 different variables are the things that they can ask you. As usual, you shouldn't have to see this as 3 different formulas. This is really the original formula. Speed is distance over time. Some students use, is what we call when you learn principles and methods and they have little tricks. Number of students know this magic triangle. Speed is distance over time. It works anytime you have a formula that involves those three things. So speed is distance over time. Once you have the first formula right, everything else follows. Distance, if I want distance, I cover distance, is speed times time. And if I want time, I get distance over speed. So it's like a memory trick. It works not just with this formula, with any little formula where it's just three things. And one is the other over the other. Come again. Speed is distance over time. Speed is distance over time. Distance is speed times time. Time is distance over speed. Now we should all know by now the formula alone can help you with these questions. You have to have some understanding.
Work in simple interest, so PRT.
Yeah, like that. Right? So check it. Speed is distance over time. Average speed is something that comes up a lot. Average speed is defined as total distance traveled. Total distance traveled over, don't sound any different from this formula. But sometimes you travel at one speed and you stop, you travel at another speed and you stop and so on, and then say for the whole journey, what's your average speed? The average speed would be, all right, fine, you stop here, say you go here, say you slow down, you speed up. Your average speed will be the total distance traveled for the entire journey, divided by the total time taken for the journey. Total distance over total time. Notice it doesn't, it's the same kind of distance over time. It's only in the questions you'll understand why it's important to say total distance. Because you might have 2 different or 3 different phases to the journey. It's also important to have this down before you do the travel graphs. You know the graphs that have to do with speed, distance, time, and so on, acceleration. It's good to know this first, that you really understand. Alright, watch out for the little pitfalls which normally come up in units, getting the units wrong. Units, standard units, kilometers to meters conversion. 1,000 meters, 1 kilometer. How do you convert from meters to kilometers or centimeters? Right? So we can just do a little review of common units. You cut it up, you copied it down. Okay. Yeah, you tried it and it works. Try it from what you copied. We're just checking on the link. If anybody has any challenge with the link, we'll be sorting it out. Okay, let me check it. Actually, then the WhatsApp, just indicate we're checking. We'll just pause 5 minutes. Average speed, let me see. Okay. All right, I'll just put a little example based on, just to check. Look at this example. If your distance is 1,260 meters and your speed is, watch carefully, and your speed is 10 kilometers per hour. Find the time. T, the time in minutes. Yeah? Watch this little example here. I give it a distance, I give it a speed, and I'm asking you to find the time, but I want the time in minutes. Think about that for a minute. Let's solve this. Excuse me. Okay, I think it seems to be okay. Yeah, it seems to be okay. It's running.
So which one is we on?
The one that you, if anybody has that challenge, maybe try a refresh, and if you're in YouTube, sometimes they have some settings you can adjust. But it seems to be running.
It's from their AV.
Okay.
I can see.
The first thing for people identify ourselves.
Right. Okay, while this question is being done, I just want, I think somebody had a challenge with you. So while this question is being done, let me just clarify where we are. Measurement, we're doing speed, distance, time questions, and I want to move on to maps, scales, drawings, those scale questions, maps and scales. And thereafter, it will be areas, lengths, volumes, surface area, those kind of questions. Right? For this week, Monday to Thursday, 7 to 9, we'll be covering measurement, and we expect to cover sequences and that problem solving question. We have had discussions and we decided we're taking a break from Friday until Monday, so there'll be no scheduled classes Friday till Monday. It might sound a little different from something I said before, but I had discussions with others, and I think it is a good thing. What it does is it gives everybody just like a break before like a 3-week push straight into the exam, non-stop. So I had that, sorry? Class, no, Friday to Monday, no classes, class keeping resuming on Tuesday. So very importantly, you can check the WhatsApp, I'll repost some of the information. But no class Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Use the time to relax a little. There are some students who say, well, they're really tired. Relax a little, review. No class, MG, attending.
So when is the final class?
Final class should be this Sunday. When I say final, for this class, it will be the Saturday night before the exam. Okay?
The exams are on Monday.
No, the maths class, the maths exams are Wednesday. We're like, okay. So it's like the weekend before we'll be here. Okay. The exam timetables, I need to check on it. I should have checked on it, but I can do that before the end of this. Okay. So make sure you get that clear. What I'll do, and I'm just saying it's here in the WhatsApp. You see the exam, the weekly exam. What I'll do is still post it online. You still prepare the exam, and you still have, and that exam will be everything up to these topics we do. But we just won't come here in person, so you'll have it as something you can practice. So rest a little, review everything, put yourself together, and then we refocus. Next week, so Wilson has agreed that he would do the, next week, we are going to do paper 2, section 2. I'm sure everybody got that information. This happened today. Based on some requests still that students have challenges related to circuit theorem, the paper 2, section 2. So next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to have every day we focus on one of the options. 5:30 to 8:30. So on Tuesday, we'll do the algebra functions relations graphs option. On Wednesday, we'll do the which one it was? It's in the WhatsApp group. Let me see. It's in the. Let me see if I can just pull it up. But Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week. And to avoid any clashing thing here, we're going to just work together. Consider next week, even here, just consider next week as the paper 2, section 2. That I would have done to 8:30. Upstairs, but it's recorded also, remember? So what I'm saying, I think you could have a little clash. So let us use next week as just paper 2, section 2. I work together. What I'm suggesting, and we can confirm, what I'm suggesting is that we just kind of be in sync just for next week. Meaning everybody just concentrate on paper 2, section 2. Right? And what we do is just work with the class, and if there, let's say you need an additional class, we just have another one, same time. So that at the end of next week, you'll have covered all of the section 2. You'll select the ones, and then we'll do practice. What I'm going to suggest is that when at the end of the 8:30, we can go for like an hour and a half, just practicing after the class. So it's like they do. Let's say the vectors, matrices, transformation. Then right after, we just practice. We just take out the past paper question and just get rid of it. This time using the past paper booklet. We just go into section 2, look for the questions, and deal with them. And then one with bearings, trigonometry, bearings, circuit theory, same thing. So consider it 5:30 to 8:30 the class, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then Friday, what we could do is just resume. We'll just have a little, the Friday, regular time, and then the Saturday, and then we're back to it. Okay, so hopefully you get that. If you're not sure, I'll post it again in the WhatsApp group. Right? So next week, and if you are unable to make it to the stream, right? Thanks. Okay, let's move now. Here, just a little example: distance, speed, and they're asking to find the time. So I'm going to do it over here. So. If you have looked at the past papers, they do tend to set part of measurement in paper 2. The one that has to do with areas and lengths in sectors and segments. If you watch recently, they have kind of set it in the second section.
Was last year paper hard?
No, last year paper wasn't hard. Right. But it depends on how you prepare and all that kind of thing. Generally, CXC, this is genuine. Generally, recently, the exams have not been hard. Ask anybody who is really reasonable. It's more a matter of preparation. If you look at the papers, you're going to see that the questions are similar. You must admit. When you look at the paper 2s, you line them up, nothing really looks too strange. Or so it's just a matter of knowing how to do them and practicing and practicing. Classes alone will not work. This is something I've been telling students. You cannot just be in a class learning. You have to have some time when you're practicing by yourself. Until you do it, you won't be confident that you can do it. So you need to practice. Right? Enough talking. Here, this one, the same example. Distance you're given. The distance 1260 meters. Right? The speed is 10 kilometers per hour. Now, whichever units they want the time to be, a question is how do you get the time out of this? And of course, a typical error is to just use the formula time is distance over speed. I said 1260 divided by 10, the answer is 126. That's where you did not give the units respect. This is 10 kilometers per hour. One way to get units compatible. This one is actually harder to change. And I'll give an example to show you why. Because it's not just the kilometers you would change, it's also the hours. So you'll find that the single unit is easier to change. To make these two compatible, compatible meaning they agree with each other. You could change this to kilometers. Why kilometers? Because the speed is already in kilometers per hour. So what I would recommend is this. The distance is 1,260. Look at it. I would say that you call these incompatible. Like you can't relate to each other yet until they're in similar units. So convert this to kilometers by using 1,000 meters, 1 kilometer. Do you divide by 1,000 or multiply? Divide. And then 1,000 give you 1. So this is going to end up smaller. So divide by 1,000. And we end up getting 1.26 what units? Kilometers. No, they are what units? Kilometers per hour, kilometers. So they are agreeing now. They are agreeable. And so you can now use the formula and the units will automatically come out to be hours. Why hours? Because this is in kilometers, bro. So time is what? Time is distance over speed. Time is distance over speed. You can't go in the exam and don't remember that, like, for example. You have to get those things. Distance over speed. Now I can divide properly. 1.26 kilometers divided by 10 kilometers per hour. And just in case you wonder, what really happens is the kilometers cancel and the hour end up on the top. It's like fractions where you divide by a half, it's the same as multiplying by 2 kind of thing. So what ends up happening is you get 0.126 hours. The units work out. You don't have to worry yourself, because it's time, and the unit of time will be the hour. If you wonder how the units cancel, that's something you can show also. Now, so although they ask you in minutes, don't go try changing this to minutes. I would suggest that just look and find the time. You can't, no, you can change kilometers per hour to something per minute.
What per minute?
Kilometers per minute or even meters per minute. You can change it as long as it's a unit of speed. You can convert it. I'll give an example because they can ask it. But what we did is just find the time. Just find the time. How find the time? Make sure the unit's compatible. Meters to kilometers. Use the formula. We get this.
So different they convert the 10 kilometers to meters. It's 10,000 meters.
Right.
And then I just divide the 10,000
Good.
by the total.
Right. What you did is you say 10 kilometers per hour is 10,000 meters per hour. Don't that work? Huh? Because what? All of a sudden now it's compatible because this would be in meters and the other one in meters per hour. You see? Same thing with our different road to average. You're good. It's a good road you're traveling. Yeah, man. Safe road. So here, one little thing though, then also we wanted the answer in minutes. So although we get this answer, you would now say 0.126. 60 seconds, 1 minute, 60 minutes, 1 hour. If this is in hours, you would have to change it to minutes. Multiply, divide. 1 hour. What you do to 1 hour to get minutes? To the 1. No, 1 hour. Yeah, how do you get from 1 to 60? You'd have to multiply by 60. 1 hour is 60 minutes. You multiply the 1 by 60 to get 60. So if it's in hours and you want minutes, you'd multiply. 2 hours, how many minutes? What did it to the 2 really? Sometimes the things we're so comfortable doing, we actually don't remember what we did. Yeah? 2 hours is 120 minutes, but what did you do? You really multiplied by 60 because 1 hour is 60 minutes. What I'm saying is, since this is an hour, you'd multiply by 60, and whatever answer you get now will be in minutes. And what is that? 7.56 minutes. That's the answer. So what can look like an innocent with your questions? All you do is just speed equal distance over time. And it's nothing much more than that. Becomes a challenge for many students because of the unit conversions, making sure that the calculations are compatible, which means if it's meters, you can't do anything yet unless you change this to meters, which you did, per hour, or change this to kilometers. Okay? All right.
Sir,
Yes.
I think you have some kind of shortcut to the conversion of the unit. I don't really know it.
Well, you have many different units and you have different things to remember, but which different students use. Just like how this I tell you, this is one that some students say, no, I just use this. Right? One of the main things is to remember the common conversions, like centimeters to meters, meters to kilometers, kilograms, grams to kilograms, those things, seconds to minutes, minutes, hours. Make sure you review those basically. You don't have to remember hectometers, you know, all of those. Right? That won't come. Okay. All right, so let's look at a couple of examples. Because these are can be a little tricky. For example, let's say a motor vehicle. And I'm kind of, what you call it, condensing the question. A vehicle left town A, typical question, at 09:30 hours. Sometimes I don't put the hours, I say 09:30. And arrived at town B. Arrived at town B at, say something, keeping it simple, say something like 13:45 hours. Right? The distance from A to B to B is distance from A to B, something like 200 kilometers. Right? So this is introducing the 24-hour clock. Simply calculate the speed. A lot of times they use the average speed because they know that the vehicle is traveling different speed as it goes along. Calculate the speed, I'll just use speed for simplicity. Calculate the speed in kilometers or to the negative one. And if you see this notation, it's the same as kilometers per hour. This. And if you're not comfortable using it, you just use kilometers per hour. Right. Then we're going to look at a few from the activity booklet. But in reading this, can we agree on just a few things? What do we have? What are they asking us for? In the question, what information do we have? It's three things in it. Distance, speed, time. What is it we have in this question? What is it? We have the time and we have the distance. To calculate speed, you need distance traveled over time. But the time is kind of hidden. You have the start time, the end time, so you need to find the duration. Right? And you need to be able to make sure you put it in hours. Because the distance is already in kilometers. So you want the time in hours so that you divide kilometers by hours to get kilometers per hour. Okay? What is 0930 representing? What is that? 9:30 a.m. 13:45? 1:45 p.m. So if you start out at 9:30 and you reach 1:45, how long will your trip be or your journey? What's the duration? What's the time? How long it took you? You do it, right? You have some people calculating differences and so on. The way I still do it is, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30. There's nothing wrong with that. 1:30, 4 gone, and then 1. So it's 4 hours and 15 minutes. But 15 minutes needs to be changed to hours. And 15 minutes is what fraction? 4 and a quarter. 15 minutes is a quarter hour. Okay. And so the time is 4 and a quarter hour. If it was fractions like a multiple choice, you'd probably need to keep it that way because your answer might end up as a fraction. 4.25. If you're doing paper 2, you can say 4.25 because you're just going. Yes, run it like 9:30 a.m. and you reach 1:45 p.m. So if you start at 9:30, 10:30, 1 hour gone if it's 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 4 hours, and then from 1:30 to 1:45 is 15 minutes. But 15 minutes, so it's really 4 hours, 15 minutes. But you want it to be in hours. Why? Because you can't divide 4 hours and 15 minutes on this here. You have to divide it minutes or hours or seconds. So 4 hours is there. 15 minutes is a fraction of an hour. It's a quarter hour or 0.25. So it's really 4.25 hours. So the time in the calculation, speed equals distance over time. So the time is really 4.25 hours.
4.15 will show it out.
Right, I'm glad you raised that. If you say 4.15, it's 4 hours and 15 minutes, but the 15 minutes is not 0.15. It's 15 over 60. Yes, go ahead.
How would I know I'm supposed to change that 15 minutes to 2.2?
How would you know that you have to change it? For the same thing about, look at the units. They want the answer in kilometers. Remember, this is the same as kilometers per hour. So you can't have any minutes in it. For you to do your calculation, the distance is already in kilometers. But the time, out of the time, you have to get the time in hours. So if you say seconds or minutes or, you know that you're going to have to convert everything and get it as hours. This is how you know. And you won't have combined units in a calculation. You have to have it either in minutes or in hours or in seconds. Just like what he's saying. So these are some common mistakes, like after dividing by 4.15. So say 4 hours, 50 minutes and divided by 4.15. That's a common mistake. Because 0.15 is not 15 minutes. 0.15 or would be 0.15 times 60, which is actually 9 minutes. All right, so come on, finish this, complete this. Go on. Time we're saying. The time? No, you wouldn't because you want it exact. Unless the decimal is something that's continuous and you want to round it. You wouldn't want to round at all. You want it exact. The time, you agree that the time is 4 hours, 15 minutes? You agree that? So the time is 4 hours, 15 minutes. The question is, how do you convert this to hours? This is 4 hours plus then 15 minutes in hours. Well, 15 minutes is 15 over 60. If it was just 15 alone, you'd say it's 15 divided by 60, change the minutes to hours. When you divide 15 by 60, you get a quarter, or 0.25. So it becomes 4 plus 0.25, which is 4.25. Oh, right? Again, you want to look at enough of these questions so you start to get it and say, oh, I get it. It's not so hard, you know, but there are some little tricks in it. It's the type of question, if it comes 4 marks, 3 marks, 4 marks, 5 marks, paper 2 of them in the multiple choice, you say, boy, that's 6 marks, 7 marks. You want, these are the questions that you want to get these right because they're not setting in too difficult. They're setting them within a range, around 3 or 4 different ones they can answer. You understand? So you don't want them give you this, for example, and then you can't do it because, oh gosh, I'm going to do this. You want to say, oh, I understand. Straightforward. Done it already.
The answer in 2 decimal place.
The answer, like in a paper 2, no, the answer can have, very likely the answer will be a decimal and you round it up. Okay? So then you have the time, you already have the distance. The distance is 200 kilometers. So you're looking good now, you have kilometers and you have hours. So then the speed is distance over time, which is 200 kilometers, 4.25 hours, and you end up with 0.0565. All right, let's give me a few, and then I'll round up with 0, 5, give me something, 8, okay. And then you could say, a lot of times they'll say to 1 decimal place, they use also 3 significant figures regular. So we could say 47.1 kilometers per hour, or kmh to minus 1. A lot of times also they'll say, give your answer to the nearest whole number, because the nearest whole number it would be, or 47. If it was to 1 significant figure, what would it be? 50. If it was 1 significant figure. Huh? So, the reason we're doing practice with these is that even though it's a straightforward formula, students have challenges with the units. That's what happened with you there. Just actually getting the unit right to do the calculation. So let's look at a few from the activity booklet. Right? I think there are a few concerns with the two different activity booklets. Anything you see me input from now on, I'll give you the pages from the two. So if you say 260 or 244, it simply means that it's either one or the other. Right? Okay. I've been doing a multiple choice, but let me see. Recently we do like a 1 structure and then we'll go through the multiple choice answers. So I'm looking at exercise 39. Exercise 39, which is page 244 or 260, depending on which booklet you have. Those are multiple choice questions. I'm going to look for a structured question. The multiple choice. Let me just get one. I want a nice. Let me see if we can find a good structured question. Structured page exercise activity booklet. Example. Activity booklet, AB for activity booklet. I'm going to use page 247 in one, or in the other one it is. You can find it for me. 263, 247, or 263. Depending on which activity booklet you have. I'm going to just do question 2 as an example of a structured question. Structured question number 2. Either page 263, if you have the 2 volume, or a single volume, 247. Structured question 2. which is an actual past paper question. Structured question number 2. Structured question number 2. And then we'll look at the multiple choice after. So if you're finished, you can just look at all the multiple choice in that exercise. Right? Let's look at this one. I'll give you a couple of minutes and we'll look at it. The one which says Mrs. Haynes, that one? That was number 3. Oh dear.
Number 2 is the bus next to 8.
Okay, let me use number 3. Sorry. It's encouragement to wear my glasses. Number 3. Number 3, sorry about that. Mrs. Haynes took her class, that one. On a tour of the island, the table below shows the time the bus arrived at 2 places of interest. And then the whole thing about how long did it take the bus to travel from that? And the second one, calculate the speed along this section of the route. Structured question number 3 is what we're looking at. And after, this one is a little bit more. I'll do structured question number 2. So we'll do the question 2, but I'll do the 3 first. 3 is a little bit easier than the 2.
Sorry, that was not either. You said activity.
Activity booklet,
Yeah.
question page 263 or 2, what is it there? 44?
I moved on to 263 and 244 is a multiple choice.
247. Sorry, 247.
Oh.
247. 247. I get in the hang of how to communicate this information without causing a problem. I don't get it fully yet, obviously, but I get in there. Yeah? The measurement topic is exercise 39 we're doing in the activity booklet, whichever page is on. The questions we're doing now, look for page 247, 263. We're doing structured question number 3, structured question number 2. As 2 examples. And take a few minutes and then we'll look at it. Excuse me. Speed, distance, time. Question 3 and then question 2. Can proceed with question 3. Question 3. All right. This one about Mrs. Haynes took her class on a tour of the island. Right now, she started. Let me see. She reached South Point at what time? 9:38 a.m. Then she left South Point what time?
9:40.
9:40. Well, I just stopped for a minute or two. 2 minutes. Right. Then they reached Bird Park. 11:16 a.m. And then they left Bird Park at 11:20. The first thing you have to do is understand the information. There were other bus in a class and they went on a trip and they went to South Point, stopped briefly, left, went to Bird Park, stopped, and left. 1. How long did it take the bus to travel from South Point to Bird Park? It left South Point at 9:40 and reached Bird Park at 11:16. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
It left, remember, it left, the bus left South Point, sorry, SP, at left, at 9:40, or I could say 9:40 a.m. And then it arrived at Bird Park at what time? 11:16 a.m. So what they're asking you is, how long did it take the bus to travel? And that again is something standard, something we should be able to be doing. 9:40, you can say 10:40 is less than 2 hours, because if it was 2 hours, it would be 11:40. So 1 hour would take it to 10:40. Then you could say 10:40 to 12 o'clock would be 20 minutes. 10:40 to 11 o'clock would be 20 minutes. And then another 16. So the time would be time taken would be equal to 1 hour and 36 minutes. So we've gone back to that question you asked, you know. What did they say? How long? They didn't say you must put it in minutes or hours. So this is okay. They didn't say give your answer in hours or minutes. So is that right? Come on. Is it 1 hour 36 minutes?
Yes, sir.
And you agree that this is everyday maths. This is something that every one of us should be able to do. How long? You leave out, say you're on the job, and you leave out 9:40, reach 11:16. How long? You're claiming for travel, and then have something to do with time. What time you left, what time you arrived, how much time did it take? 1 hour 36 minutes. Then, they're saying South Point is 80 kilometers away from Bird Park. So they are now giving you the distance in kilometers, and they're asking you to calculate the speed, which must be really the average speed. Because any speed you get, the bus could not be traveling at that speed all the time. So it's similar to the question we did before. I'm just showing you an actual exam type question. So what you have is the time. Let's complete the question now. You have the time, they're giving you the distance. You have the time, the distance, how much? How much is it? 80. What units? Kilometers. Let's look back at the time. This is part 2. The time is, remember, 1 hour, 36 minutes. Clearly, we can't use this in our calculation. We need to convert this to hours. And in steps, let's use the method we used here. This is really 1 hour plus 36 over 60. Get it? It's 1 hour, and the 36 minutes is 36 divided by 60 hours. So all of this you need to work out, and the answer will be in hours. How do you work this out? As a decimal or fraction, 36 over 60 is actually 0.6. So it works out to be 1.6 hours. Please be comfortable using fractions also, because in the paper 1, they can ask you what is the answer as a fraction. So be comfortable with fractions or decimal. So as a fraction, this would work out to 3/5, for example. And they probably have the answer as 1 3/5 versus 1.6. Okay? So if we have the distance in kilometers, the time in hours, and they're asking us for the speed, then the speed would be equal to, speed is distance over time, which is 80 kilometers divided by 1.6 hours. And that works out to 50 kilometers per hour. 50 kilometers per hour. Or remember, it can be written as 50 km h to the minus 1.
I just do a division in your head.
Well, yeah, well, that one kind of like you know? Right. So, units, be comfortable with them. Do not underrate these questions. Might be 2 multiple choice. It could be another 3 marks or 4 marks in paper 2. You don't want to see this and don't do it. Speed, distance over time. Typical question. Let's look at one that is a little bit more involved. So let's look at the question 2, the structured question number 2 now, which if it's not on the same page, it's very close by, shouldn't be a problem to find it. Yeah. Question 2, understand that it's on 262, you should be able to find it. Question 2 is a little bit more now. If you haven't done it yet, do question 2. And if you have done that, you can just look for the multiple choice questions. We're going to be giving the answers to the 12 multiple choice. Oh, same page, right above it. The question in front before question 3. That's it. Right. Yes. Can take all this side. Okay. Structured question number 2, the activity booklet. It's either page 247 in one, and the other one is actually 262, I think. Start at 262. Question 2. The one about a bus leaving town A. That question. A bus leaves town A at 0905 hours. That one. If you finish with those, we're going to do the multiple choice after. And after, we're going to do multiple choice questions, number 1 to 12. These multiple choice will be on page 260 to 261, or you have the other booklet. Or 244 to 245. 244 to 245, or 260 to 261. We did the question 3 already. We're now doing the question 2, structured question. If you finish it, we're going to be doing the multiple choice and checking the answers. While you're doing that, let me emphasize that in terms of practice, the activity booklet and the past paper booklets are sufficient. They are good. And you can do all of them. I think as I mentioned, where a student is to get any booklet that you don't get, please get it now. Whether it's a recent past paper booklet, please get it. If you have any challenge, you can just message me. Sort it out. Right, I was just responding to WhatsApp message about collecting parts people. I'm saying if anybody has any challenge, you just get to the front desk. It might be like a challenge at 9 o'clock in the night. But then generally, front desk, the customer service here is normally open till around 7. So if you have any challenge, you go and answer. If anybody, you have any challenge, then just ask somebody to contact. Shouldn't be a problem. Okay, shouldn't really. Okay, now we look at this question now, we get enough time. Right? Typical. What I like about it, I think that's something to do with average speed in the whole journey or something like that. So it's a nice, this is a very good example. Structured question number, oh boy, here we go again, number 2. Oh boy. Sorry, structured question number 2. So structured question number 2. We did 3 already. We're doing structured question number 2, page 247 or 262. Depending on which booklet you have. AB for activity booklet. All right, let's look at it now. 1. It says, a bus left town A at 9:05. That's 9:05 a.m. Travel to town B, 48 kilometers away. So what do we know from that so far? We know the distance is 48 kilometers. Definitely have that. The time, we only know the start time, so we don't know the time it took yet. But they are also giving us the speed to be 80 kilometers per hour. And they wrote it as h to the minus 1. Right? Which you can write h to the minus 1 or you can do this, no problem. Right? So what would we like to find? They're saying, what time did the bus arrive? Now to find out the time the bus arrived, you want to find out the time that the bus took. Time is given by, remember that? Time would be distance over speed. So you can't get this wrong or be gets it. You have to find a way to get that. The units are compatible. Agree with that? Them good. Because you have kilometers per hour. So you just go straight into saying 48 kilometers divided by 80 kilometers per hour. And you end up with 0.6. What's the unit? Hour. So you turn it the other way now. 0.6 hours from the other question is the same as 36 minutes. Yeah? This is okay, but it's the same as 0.6 times 60, which is 36 minutes. And I'll ask you for that in minutes, but it helps us because you're saying, remember now, you start at 9:05, right? You can't just go, some people mix it up and put a 0.6 on it and say 9:65 and so on. That's wrong. 0.6 is 36 minutes. You start at 9:05. So since the start time is 09:05, and then end time, or when you reach, or when you arrive, or the arrival time. So what time it arrive at Town B? End time or the arrival time? Arrival would be at 36 minutes to that. And what is that? You start 9:05 and you travel for 36 minutes. So when you reach? Come again. You start at 9:05, 5 minutes past 9. 9:41. Come on.
So if you don't change the hours to minutes.
If you don't change the hours to minutes, you're gonna have a challenge.
But I heard the arrival time
Go on and tell me again.
9:80.
So how you got the 80?
And added 0.6 to the, well, I added 0.6. In the 6 right here, so
Right.
As minutes, 0 hours 6 minutes.
No.
No?
That's what we're saying. It's 0.6, not 2.6. Watch, one of them have that. This is 5 minutes, but this is not 0.5. That's what you're asking before. So 0.6 hours is not 6 minutes. 0.6 hours is 0.6 times 60 or 36 minutes. You see all these little questions, all of them simple, them still easy to make mistakes with. So just do enough of them until you really get it.
Right, we're going to put the 0.5/60 and break it down.
To hours?
No, the convert the 0.5 to hours.
To hours?
Yeah, we put it over 60.
In this case, I would think you can, but in this case, I think it's better if you just change. If you understand that when you get the time for the journey, just have it in minutes or hours and minutes. You know, it could be 1.6 enough. It could be 1.6. If it was 1.6, I wouldn't say change the whole 1.6 to minutes. I'd say 1.6 means 1 hour, and then the 0.6 I change it. Right. So it would tell me 1 hour 36 minutes. But like with 0, I'm just saying just find this in minutes, 36 minutes. And then just do it the way you normally start out 9:05, 36 minutes when you reach. Must be 9:09 if you wish. 41, which means 9:41 a.m. And that's why you need to practice the question. Right? Because they have some little way to turn them around. Like even this, it's the same question turn back, just turn the other way. You have to know how to do it. Right. So that's the answer. That will be the answer to the first part, which we're going to say, okay, what time did the bus arrive at Town B? Right. So this was really part 1. And let's continue. We're still doing structured question number 2. I'll give you this again. Structured question number 2, that's part 1. This is a very good question to revise this topic. Structured question 2, part 1, that's it. All right, you what happened now. So remember what happened so far. Let's review what happened so far. You start out at Town A at what time? 9:05. You travel to Town B, 48 kilometers away, and you travel at a speed of 80 kilometers per hour. In this case, they actually said average speed. So sometimes you're faster, sometimes you're slow. Average speed. The average speed allowed us to find the time for the journey, which was 0.6 hours, which is equivalent to 36 minutes. So if we started at 9:05, add 36 minutes to this, and we know we reach at 9:41. So you arrive at Town B at 9:41. Yeah, let's see what happened after. On his return journey, the bus now took 45 minutes to travel from Town B to Town A. Right. So for the return journey now.
That's not part two.
We don't hear it.
I'm still part one.
Well, it's introduced in part two, it looks like. Right, so let's look at it. On its return journey, the bus took 45 minutes. So you with me in saying that the time is 45 minutes on the return journey?
Yeah.
Going from B back to A. Return. Time 45 minutes. Can we change that to hours? What's that in hours? 45 minutes. I change it to hours. 45 over 60 hours. And that is 0.75 hours. Or if it was in fractions and a multiple choice, you would say 15 into 45 is 3, 15 into 64, 3/4 hour. 45 minutes, 3/4 hour. Yeah. 50 minutes, quarter hour, 30 minutes, half an hour, and so on. Why am I doing it? It really allows. It really says it takes 45 minutes to travel now from B back to A.
So you're gonna open at 10 o'clock.
Yes, you pass. Well, it depends on what time it starts. We're not so sure. If you just turn around then, let me see what's going on. What is the average speed of the bus for the journey from B to A? What's the speed? What we need for speed? Distance and time. What do we have so far? So what about distance? Do we know the distance? What's the distance? 48. Why? Because it's the same. You just have. You went from A to B, now you go from B to A. So the distance is 48 kilometers. Simple little principle thing you're doing, just not wide. It's not a big area with whole information, but you still have to know what you're doing. So you have to realize, obvious to some, oh, I said, then we give me the distance. When I see him, you go from A to B. It's B to A. Of course, they should say going, traveling along the same route. Not true. Because you have many routes to operate.
Yes.
You could have traveled a different route.
So we got
Yeah. So that must be. So if you have the distance there at the time, then you'd say speed now is distance over time. Right? Speed will be distance over time, which is 48 kilometers over. Can I use the 45? 0.75. And you end up getting. This is a good question for anybody coming in. Nice practice question. Let's jump on. This one. Structured question number 2. Activity booklet, page 247. It's a very nice question. Very good revision question for speed distance time. And this comes out to what? 64? What's the units? What's the units? Kilometers per hour. Or kmh to the negative one. Km. Well, they tell you what to give it in, so give them what they want. Kilometers, remember this is the same as saying km per hour. Recommended question, structured question number 2, a good practice question for this topic, speed, distance, time. We're doing measurement, all the different areas. You have speed, distance, time. This also helps you when you're doing travel graphs. This is not travel graphs, but you still need to understand the basics. And unit conversions, kilometers to meters, hours, minutes, seconds, that kind of thing. Question not finished. Question 3 now. Part 3, thank you. Question 2, part 3. What is the average speed for the entire journey? Given the answer in 3 significant figures. What is the average speed for the entire journey? What do they mean by that? From start to finish. So you went from A to B. And then you go from B to A. So let's say for the entire journey now. What is the average speed?
65 and the
64?
and the 48.
And the 4, where you get 48?
No, that's
What was the speed for the first part?
80.
80. Listen, you know, because somebody might say I said something and you know, go so listen to everybody.
Oh, yeah. That's just
The
distance.
speed for the first part was 80. The speed for the second part was 64. Listen to me loudly, clearly. Average speed is defined as total distance traveled over total time taken. It is not defined as the average of the speeds. You know what I'm saying? Let me run that again. The speed for the first part was 80. The speed for the second part was 64. To find the average speed, you're not adding these two and dividing by 2. You get me? Average speed is defined as total distance traveled over total time taken. Right. Excuse me. Good night. You get the paper yet?
Yes, I need it.
Oh, good. Just put it in the WhatsApp. You got it and you're
I did.
satisfied. Oh, you did. Thank you very much. No, I know you're right. Good. Right? Average speed, total distance traveled. What's the total distance?
So that would be the 64.
No.
Distance to 48 plus the
48
plus the 48.
plus 48 go on, 48 go on. So you finish the question for me. Start. Total distance traveled. Total time taken. Therefore, average speed, total distance divided by total time.
So 155.
Do the maths. Finish it. Complete it. Huh? Complete.
It's a total distance over total time taken.
Right.
And you get one.
I don't know.
You get one.
What I ask you, what I suggest you
The
do.
entire journey.
Yeah, but what I suggest you do.
So the entire
You listen. What I'm saying is, it's like we're just about to finish this. I'm suggesting take the question and just clear it. Do it from start to finish and catch us up.
Is that chronograph?
No, this is speed, distance, time, the measurement. However, it's the first part of travel graph. So you don't want to know this when you do travel graph. So it's structured question number 2. And I see in the response from those who came in. Just jump on it and complete it and catch us up here. I know you have some speed here. So cover some distance in a short time. And, oh, you're I got it. Decompressing, detoxing. Drunk with the maths from upstairs. Spread the word. Next week, we're going to use the 3 days we have, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week, to cover paper 2, section 2. It's in the WhatsApp, I'm saying just a little adjustment. It's best for everybody. There's a little space next week. We can use it. You still have a few students who say I have a challenge with this, a challenge with that. Circuit theorem, bearings, vectors, those things. Travel graphs. So each day next week, every day is dedicated to one of the 3 options. We're going to run it. Instead of having this contradicting that upstairs, just for next week, Tuesday 5:30 to 8:30, one topic, one option. Wednesday likewise, Thursday likewise. The information is in the WhatsApp. And I'm suggesting when it finishes at 8:30, we just take the past paper booklets now. The past paper booklet, and get rid of all of the options, the questions on that option, right after the class. Within an hour and a half, you get it? Up to you. So it's like the class finish 8:30, and then we just said, come we just deal with all of the questions, paper 2, algebra, functions, graphs. We look for all the simultaneous linear and quadratic, we look for all the travel graphs, look for all the complete in script. Get it? Right. Good. This weekend, there will be no classes in this class or any other. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. A decision we have taken. It gives you time for some of you who have been really saying you're stressed and burnout. Take a look at time, go up in the hills and relax. Do some yoga. Right? That kind of thing. Of course, you have Friday, Saturday, go to church. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, want to visit grandma, that kind of thing. And then revise, refocus, coming Tuesday. However, I am presenting the exam online still. You won't be here, but 7 to 10 are releasing it just the same on Saturday. The practice exam, which will include everything up to this topic, measurement, meaning this that we're doing, maps and scales which coming next, and then areas, surface area, perimeter, all that. Okay? Can be done. Keep it positive. So let's finish this question. Average speed was question 3. Part 3 of question 2. Part 3 of question 2. Work it in. Negative thinking is like a disease, catch fast. Someone say, boy, it don't make no sense, and someone say, true, it don't make no sense. And then you just say a whole set of people say, boy, it doesn't make sense. All the negative, everything just seems hopeless. So you have to nip it in the bud. Meaning, as somebody says something, you say, no man, come, we can't do this. It's not just about positive talk. Because we walk in the talk, we're working. Keep it positive. There is a solution. Right? Part 3. Average speed for the entire journey. Find average speed. Average speed is total distance traveled. So total distance traveled is 48 to go, 48 to come out. 48 plus 48, 96 kilometers. So that's the total distance traveled, A to B and back. Total time now, again, it looks simple, but you might have to look at trick station. So total time taken, going was
80
no sir, 80 was the speed. 36 or 0.6 if you want. Look at the thing properly. Going took 0.6 hours. You could say 0.6 hours, no sir? And then returning was 0.75. 0.75. Everything here in hours. Everything in hours. And that comes out to 1.25 hours. All right, just a man. Go on. Thank you. You're here. You got the news. So next week, we're doing back section 2. Remember you say you missed the vectors?
Yes.
So next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is option. We're doing options. The 3 options, 1 day for each option. So just check the schedule. It's in the WhatsApp and that kind of thing. Right? Okay. And we're doing it instead of, because there's a little break around, we're just going to use it, and we'll just use 5:30 to 8:30 for each option next week. Tuesday, 5:30 to 8:30, Wednesday, and Thursday. We know it can sound confusing, but just for next week, consider it that. But we're going to work together just for next week. The classes are going to run. Wilson is going to run the class, and we're going to use the setup to have it online or in person at that time. Listen. So if anybody said can't come or nobody told, so it will be online in person. If there's a spillover, then other teachers, me or Bradshaw or whoever can make it, will just do the split. You get it?
Yes.
Right. And at 8:30 when the class is finished, between 8:30 and 10, we work out all the questions on the past papers now. Bring your past paper booklet. So just deal with everything on that option. Yes, for the class, the official class, 5:30 to 8:30. So somebody can leave, for example. We keep the stream running till 10. You get it? I will leave 8:30, because you know, wife at home. Want to make sure everything is all right. So, but we run the stream till 10. So if you go home, you can just invite and say, let us do some maths. Right. Right. So it's good. Make use of it. Spread the word. Don't. So next week, we're just dedicating next week to paper 2, section 2. Go right into the weekend, including a practice exam on paper 2, section 2. That's all.
Are we on for this?
No, this weekend, I said it a couple times before. This weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, off.
Church.
Right. Relax a little, recuperate, and review, organize yourself. So when you come back in Tuesday, there's nothing, no break again. The exam.
Yes, sir.
Think about it. You must appreciate that there's a need for a little space. Right. So we're giving you the space. No, can we get this back to this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, boss. Yes, boss.
I think it's a wise strategy to decide the topics that they're doing.
Yes.
in the section.
I think it's a very wise strategy. I would encourage that. One of the things, sometimes you try to go for everything, you might not end up with. So even though I might say like the core, we said the core just do a certain percentage, it's a strategy everybody should have. It's a lot of work, you know, the CXC maths syllabus. Let's be reasonable. It's a lot of stuff. So yes, I encourage everybody to look, even though it says the 3 option next week, you can say whether you want to come to the 3. My recommendation is that you decide which ones you lean towards and make sure you do them properly.
Statistics are part of it. It's very important.
Statistics are part of the option?
Yeah, the options.
No, statistics is not a part of the option.
Calculations.
No, statistics is a topic that you need to cover. So all we do is just spacing, deal with that, and then we just deal with anything else after. Right, good. So enough of that, please. Spread the word. Okay? But it's a very good opportunity, you know. Just tell everybody, come in again for paper 2, section 2 next week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So when you finish, we just give it all like past people. And you know how things stay. If it's even 10 o'clock and you want to go further, we can just keep it running and just get rid of it. If we call it to be street. Okay, so anybody want to leave, they leave, it's street. During the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All right.
Sir, one problem.
Speed.
Sir,
Speed.
one problem.
One
is-
minute.
All right, one.
We only come here on Saturday, then we have to leave that late.
Come again. One at one. Don't use up too much of class, so do it quickly. On Saturday,
Yeah, we'll come here.
when you come here at 7,
Yes, do the paper.
7 to 10, which you have the option of doing it here or there. You agree? You don't have to be here at 7 o'clock to do the paper. You agree?
But if we're here at 7, we are leave out some bad hours because.
What you call bad hours?
Next morning.
No, that's your.
Hold
Hold on, that's a choice, isn't it?
No, I thought that when you're here from 7 to 10, they'll go through it at that time.
Oh, that is what it. We kind of started that way, but it wasn't practical based on the time, and also to make sure you get a proper paper.
Sir, as a certain one can leave the news, sir.
Huh?
As a certain one that can.
You can't?
I'm not doing
A lot of them are brilliant. Serious? That's good.
I explain to the security section. Go,
Yeah, man. We won't go through too much discussion. The general thing is, we suggest that once you stay, you stay till the morning. Obviously, you're adult. So if you need to go, it's only a minor can not supposed to be walking out there at that time. Right? Okay. Also, the solutions to the paper, I don't know if you all know, exist. Like the first exam, all the solutions are there. You saw those? Right. So the solutions, I'm talking the written, you know, not just the video. Right? They will be released. If they're not there for this one yet, then they should have been done from last night. And it means somebody didn't do their homework. Right? So I'll check the person and make sure it's done by tonight. I mean, don't look at handwritten solutions.
Sir, well, pertaining to what?
The solutions to the exam.
To the exam that we're.
Yes. They have the 1-by-1 solution, 100. Okay? It's there. Make use of it. Now, before people start cussing me online, let's, because you know how that can go. Distance, time, speed, average speed. Tell you, speed is total distance traveled divided by total time, which is 96 km divided by 1.35 hours. And you can appreciate why they say round it off to the value. 360. So give me more than 300, round it off.
7.11.
Give me more.
Solid ones.
One, okay, one more.
Yeah.
Alright, so, okay, so it's 7.11. 71.111. The three that's significant figures. 1, 2, 3. So it's 70.1 kilometers over to the minus 1.
Why is it a minus one?
Very easy.
Because there are how you write down kilometers per hour is the same as km h to the minus 1. Where is this coming from? 1 over x is the same as x to the minus 1. That's where it's coming from. To divide by x is the same as multiplying by x to the minus 1. That's what I'm here. What does kilometers per hour mean? It means kilometers traveled in 1 hour. So if you say your speed is 50 kilometers per hour, it means every hour you travel 50 kilometers. Right? Okay, come on. So that's it. So we do a structured example 2, very good. And we go through the multiple choice. We're not discussing all the multiple choice. So if you haven't done so yet, multiple choice. 1 to 12. Let's do it. See how far you can go. All right, I'll write that down. Activity book. 244 to 245 or then we're doing this now. Multiple choice question 1 to 12. Page activity book. What did I say? Page 244 to 245. Or in the other one it's 260 to 261. Or if you have the other one, 260 to 261. And you know what I mean by that, no? I have 2 activity booklets. So 1 to 12. Let me bounce off at least the first 4 or 5 now. So take like a 5 minutes. Okay. So you don't find a little Google quiz thing and the feedback, the quick feedback helpful? No, anybody try it?
Yeah.
Yes,
I find it useful, but you like to get the feedback right away. I'm going to allow you to do it again if you want. You can try it if you want. Good. Five minutes. Practice, practice, practice.
So you said, you're going to use like strategies.
That's it. That's
Approach
it.
the device.
Practice, yeah. Yeah, man.
How to approach the device, like, you know,
Yeah, man.
what's that one?
Right. The first strategy I have is practice, 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 and mark the ones that you get wrong, and go back through those until you get it right. Mark, you know, like you see, I'm always like I hear students say, "But man, this kid wrong again, now catch me again." That kind of thing. Mark it with something, your mark, star or something, and go back and do it again and again. Right? Do your research. One thing nowadays, you have Google, you can do anything you want. Find out about anything. 99% perspiration. 1% inspiration. You have to work. Sad, but that's how you go. No matter how smart you are, you have to put in the work if you really want to achieve. True. Have to work. Success don't come overnight. You know that too, right? But you know that too? What they listen to? You know who sing that here? I can't sing it. You don't know those lyrics. Do it for the love, we don't do it for the likes. Success will come overnight. As a local artist, substance over hype. Like a youngster named Chronic. But wondering what we're doing? Multiple choice number 1 to 12. Activity booklet, page 244 to 245, or if you have the other one, 260 to 261. Measurement generally is the topic for this week. Exercise 39 for tonight. Really? That's it? Oh dear. Why didn't I know? Alright, let me work one. I'm going to give you the answers based on the time and our commitments. So we're going to go through and give you the answers. You can obviously don't remember the answers, but you can just check them. Do them and check them, right? Alright, so for the multiple choice, I'll give you the answers. What you can do is work them out and then check. Okay, so we just work out 1 or 2 based on the time. Question 1. leaves town P, drives to town Q. What do we have there is the distance. And we have the time he left and the time he arrived. So the distance is, give me distance, 595 kilometers. The time is the time between 6 a.m. and 1300 hours, which is 1 p.m. What's the time? 0600 hours to 1300 hours. This is 6 a.m. and this is 1 p.m. So the time would be 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1 o'clock. 7 hours. Not wrong with that method, the counting finger method? No. Start 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11, 12, 1. 7 hours. Speed is distance over time. So that is 595 kilometers, what's your units over 7 hours? And that comes out to 85 kilometers per hour. Per hour or kmh to the minus 1. So the answer is C, 1C. 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 Get that? Alright, based on the time, we're doing the others a little more quickly. So put on my speed glasses. Ready? Right. Ready? Question 2. Giving you the answer. We're doing it quickly. Please make sure you take the time and do them properly. 80 kilometers, 2.5 hours. What you have there is the distance and you have the time. So you're going to divide. And what you end up with is B, 32 kilometers per hour. Running again. Question 3. You leave 9:09:15, that's 9:15 a.m. Arrive at school at 10:05. So the time there from 9:15 to 10:15 would be 1 hour. So it's 10 minutes short of 1 hour. So it's 50 minutes. Yeah, 50 minutes, I agree. And 50 minutes is the same as 50 over 60 hours. This is no multiple choice. So you can use fraction, it's 5, 6. Hey, when you're doing a multiple choice, get rid of the calculator. You're asking how you do it without multiple choice. Right? Let me just do that one to give you the example of how you deal with it. Same thing about exam strategy. What? Number 2. Number 3. Number 2 was what? B? B 32. Right? Number 3. I'm saying, look at number 3. Right? 09:15 to 10:05. You'll have to realize that this is actually 50 minutes, which is 50 over 60 hours. But this is multiple choice. So leave it as 5, 6. Leave it like that, multiple choice, no calculator. So we have the time. So the time is that. The distance is, no, they're giving the speed, sorry. The speed is 6 kilometers per hour, or hour to the minus 1. Right? Remember what we said now. Speed is distance over time. Distance is speed times time. What is your speed? 6 kilometers per hour times 5 over 6 hours.
And
6 cancels, you end up with 5. And by the way, the hour cancel the per hour and you're left with kilometers.
okay.
All right.
It said you travel 6 kilometers per hour, and you never travel for 1 hour straight. So if you're like every hour in travel 6 kilometers.
Right, and in travel for 50 minutes. So that means any answer must be less than 6 and near to 6.
Yeah.
You're asking about strategy? Who asked about strategy? Yeah, that? No, that is multiple choice strategy. It is, hold on. What? But to do it, you have to understand what the thing means.
Understand.
You understand?
Understand the time, so you can-
Yeah, no, you have to understand what it means. What 6 kilometers per hour? You know? This every hour you travel 6 kilometers, but the man traveling for 50 minutes. No, so less than 6, but close to 6. So you can't be 2. Yeah, therefore, the answer is 5. Next question. Kind of thing like that, right? So the answer is B. Right. Based on the time, I'm going to go through the rest of them now. Come on. Right. So this is a nice question, 3, but it shows you how you do it. 3 is what? B? 5? Come on. Let's go. 4, what they have is time and they have speed. Speed times time give you distance, so the answer is VT or TV. A. 4A. 4A. Right? 4 is A. 5.
That is B.
The answer is B, 5 3/4. 5 is B, 5 3/4. 6 is A, 4 hours. 6A, 4 hours. 6A, 4 hours. 7. 7, the answer is, if you look at that 1600, reach 1930, that's 3.5. That's the time, and you have the speed. So you multiply 550 by 3.5, and you get 1925. D, 7D. 7D, 1925. 8, a man started journey at 9:30, reached 13:30, that looked like 4 hours. 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 4 hours. So you have hours and you have speed. Multiply to get distance. A, 8A, 120. 9, you have speed is distance over time. C, 120 kilometers per hour. 9C. 10, 4 p.m. is 1600 hours. C. 11. 16 minutes is the same as 16 over 60 hours. And if your distance is 24 kilometers, your speed is going to be 24 divided by 16 over 60, which is the same as 20 times 60 over 16, D. 11D. Remember, I'm doing it quickly. Give you the answer. Do not. Just remember the answer is D. You go, I tell people some good advice and they do. Take it down. Go in and take D and the answers change around. Right? Never noticed that. It's 12. A school year starts at 8:50. That's 10 to 9. Ends at 1500, which is 3 o'clock. So if it was, say, from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, it would be 6 hours and 10 minutes. Take off 20 minutes, you're gone 5 hours and 50 minutes. And then take off the hour, you're gone 4 hours and 50 minutes. The answer is B. 12B, 4 hours, 50 minutes.
What was 10?
10? C. Okay? All right. And information on the WhatsApp group. We're doing measurement this week. Speed, distance, time. I encourage you to get rid of all of them in the past papers. Multiple choice. Tomorrow, map scales. And then we have areas, volumes, parameters, etc. Okay? Have a great night. Be understanding of the differences in people, please. Be respectful. Where I come from? Something I read. There. Oh, hold on. We're finishing the broadcast. That was news watch.